Tell us a little about this report which you've put together, from poverty to empowerment, and what are the elements which you think are going to really change the way we look at global empowerment of people?
Thank you so much. It's great to be here. It's great to be in India. The mood here is good, and I think that's only for good reasons. I just want to reinforce that. When we looked at this question of sustainable, inclusive growth, we try to do that not by looking at silos, growth, sustainability, or empowerment, but to do all three at the same time and look at the interactions. Why is that? If you would look at sustainability alone, you could say, let's do that at any cost. But that might impede growth, and it might impede the empowerment of people. If you look at growth and sustainability alone without empowerment, you might say, I'm happy with where we are now, we're moving past the poverty line. But when we looked at the prosperity of people, we only have 700, 800 million people living below the poverty line. That poverty line is, you remember maybe as $1 a day, but it's actually $2.15 a day now in the redefinition. But for that, an average person basically gets food, but not always, and a little bit of shelter, and a little bit of care. We think that line needs to go from 215 to 12. So still 700 to 800 million people need to pass the poverty line, but about 4.8 billion people need to pass the empowerment line. The empowerment line is very different. At that level, people have decent food, decent shelter, decent education, and decent health care. And also a little bit of discretionary spending. So in a moment of stress, they don't go back to subsistence. And people that live at that level actually are empowered. What does that mean? They want to participate in society. They also want to engage on topics of growth and sustainability. If you barely have food, sustainability can't be a question for you because you just don't have time for it. And so we think this puzzle needs to be solved across all three, and we will get different answers. In, I would say, the Western world, people say, maybe we should grow less. That's not true in India, but in the West, we should grow less because that creates additional footprint. Well, our report shows something else. More growth does increase the footprint, but it creates so much more money to pay for the transition that the transition becomes easier. That's counterintuitive, but you would not find it if you were to only look in these silos.